It was its last defiant roar, its final, unique claim to fame in a world that had long since forgotten it. For nearly a decade, a small but fiercely loyal legion of fans held on to a single, unshakable truth. If you were a true, die-hard aficionado of The Legend of Zelda, one console stood as the undisputed Holy Grail. It wasn't the record-shattering Nintendo Switch, nor the paradigm-shifting Wii. It was Nintendo's greatest commercial catastrophe, the console that almost everyone ignored, the Wii U. For all its myriad well-documented flaws, it was unequivocally the ultimate Zelda machine, a virtual museum and a modern playground for the hero of time, all in one box. But now, that final bastion has crumbled. The crown has been unceremoniously snatched away. After a long and quiet siege, Nintendo's worst console has officially, and perhaps finally, lost the one thing it had going for it. This isn't just a story about video games. This is a story of a silent coup, a generational dethroning that has fundamentally reshaped the legacy of two vastly different Nintendo consoles, and it poses a crucial question about what we value in our gaming hardware. Today, we are embarking on a deep dive into the quiet war for Hyrule's history. We will uncover exactly how the misunderstood Wii U, a commercial pariah, managed to build its legendary reputation as a Zelda paradise. Then, we will chronicle the patient, methodical conquest of the Nintendo Switch, pinpointing the key titles and strategic moves that allowed it to systematically dismantle its predecessor's most precious claim to fame. And finally, we'll reveal the few, incredibly valuable gems that still make the Wii U a controversial, almost essential piece of hardware for the most devoted collectors, forcing them to keep this ghost from the past alive. The battle for the title of Ultimate Zelda Machine is over, and the official verdict is in. Prepare yourselves. To truly grasp the magnitude of this symbolic loss, we must first travel back in time and remember the cold, harsh reality of the Wii U's existence. It stands today as a stark, unavoidable monument to Nintendo's rare but absolutely spectacular miscalculations. Emerging from the shadow of the world-conquering original Wii, a machine that sold an astonishing 101.63 million units and put motion controls in living rooms from Tokyo to Toronto, the Wii U landed with a confused thud. The public was baffled. Was this chunky gamepad a new accessory for the old Wii? Was it a new console entirely? The name itself, Wii U, was a masterclass in marketing obfuscation, creating a brand identity crisis from which it would never recover. It led to countless confused conversations in electronics aisles, with perplexed parents asking store clerks, "So my kids' Wii games will work on this new controller thing?" The foundational message was hopelessly, tragically lost. Its central gimmick, that tablet-like gamepad, was brimming with potential for asymmetric gameplay, but it ultimately felt less like a revolution and more like a solution in search of a problem. It fragmented the experience, often drawing the player's eyes away from the big screen, the complete opposite of the communal joy the first Wii had championed. Compounding these issues, the console's internal hardware was significantly underpowered compared to its generational rivals, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Third-party developers who had initially shown support quickly fled as they found it difficult and unprofitable to port their blockbuster games to the struggling system. The final, brutal sales figures tell the entire grim tale, a paltry 13.56 million units sold worldwide. It wasn't just a failure. It was a ghost, a console that many casual observers never even knew existed. But within this commercial wasteland, a vibrant, courageous green light shone with an incredible intensity. For the dedicated followers of The Legend of Zelda, the Wii U wasn't a failure. It was a promised land. It was a sanctuary, the ultimate, all-in-one portal to the sprawling kingdom of Hyrule. By the end of its tragically short life, the Wii U could play a staggering 15 different Zelda games, a library of unparalleled depth and breadth. 12 of these were core mainline entries in the hallowed series. This wasn't just about raw numbers, it was about providing access to the absolute best versions of these games.
The Wii U was the exclusive home of the definitive, high-definition remasters of two of the most critically acclaimed games in the entire franchise, the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. These were not lazy ports. The Wind Waker's timeless cel-shaded art style was reborn in crisp HD, and Nintendo went further, addressing long-standing fan grievances by fundamentally streamlining the tedious late-game Triforce Shard quest,
transforming a notorious slog into a seamless part of the adventure. Twilight Princess HD similarly gave its dark, painterly world a new level of clarity and detail, creating what many still believe is the ultimate way to experience that epic tale. But the treasure chest went even deeper. Through its robust virtual console service, the Wii U offered a veritable museum of Zelda's greatest hits.
You could play the game that started it all, the original 1986 Legend of Zelda. You could lose yourself in the dual worlds of A Link to the Past, a masterwork of two-dimensional design. You could experience the foundational Nintendo 64 masterpieces, Ocarina of Time, the revolutionary titan that wrote the rulebook for three-dimensional action-adventure, and its dark, fascinating sequel, Majora's Mask. It even offered access to beloved handheld adventures like the vibrant and charming The Minish Cap. And then there were the originals. The Wii U was the birthplace of the Hyrule Warriors franchise, a spin-off that blended Dynasty Warriors' frantic hack-and-slash action with the rich lore of Zelda, proving to be a runaway success. And let us never forget the colossal elephant in the room. Breath of the Wild, a game that redefined the open-world genre, was originally developed as a Wii U exclusive. It was the console's swan song, released simultaneously on it and the brand-new Switch. For a fleeting, magical moment, the Wii U was the only place where the past, present, and future of the Zelda series could coexist in such perfect harmony.
It was a flawed, forgotten console, but for a very specific type of player, it was absolute paradise. While the Wii U was being quietly retired to store basements and collector shelves, its successor was igniting a firestorm across the globe. The Nintendo Switch was the physical embodiment of a lesson learned. It was everything the Wii U wasn't, a simple, elegant, and powerfully compelling concept that seamlessly blended the worlds of home console and portable gaming.
There was no confusion, no convoluted explanation needed. You could play on your TV, then snap the Joy-Cons onto the sides and walk out the door, continuing your adventure uninterrupted. It just worked, and the world fell in love with it. It became a cultural touchstone, selling an almost unbelievable 152 million units and still climbing, restoring Nintendo to its throne at the very pinnacle of the industry. And with that meteoric success came an ever-expanding, ever-improving library of games. For years, the Wii U tenaciously held on to its Zelda crown. Its combination of HD remasters and a deep virtual console library seemed unbeatable. But the Switch, like a patient hero, was playing the long game. The cornerstone of its strategy was the Nintendo Switch Online service, its modern, subscription-based answer to the Virtual Console. It wasn't as comprehensive at first, but slowly and surely, the classic Zelda titles began to materialize. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, A Link to the Past, the old guard was being meticulously reassembled on a new, far more popular platform. But it was the brand new releases, the legendary adventures born and bred in the Switch era, that would ultimately tip the scales and seal the Wii U's fate. First came the achingly beautiful remake of Link's Awakening. This wasn't just a port. It was a complete, ground-up reimagining of the Game Boy Classic, presented in a unique and charming toy-like diorama art style that felt both nostalgic and brand new. It was a declaration of intent. Then came the true titan, the game of the generation contender, Tears of the Kingdom. This wasn't just a sequel, it was a defiant statement. It took the revolutionary physics and freedom of its predecessor and exploded them outwards and upwards. The introduction of the Ultra Hand and Fuse abilities didn't just give players new tools, it handed them the very keys to the game's engine, fostering a level of creativity and emergent gameplay that made the Wii U's rigid, often gimmicky gamepad integration feel like a relic from a distant, less imaginative era. Its release instantly made the Switch the one and only essential console for anyone even remotely interested in modern Zelda. The gap was closing fast. And then, with the announcement of the inventive new title, Echoes of Wisdom, where players will take control of Princess Zelda herself, the deal was sealed. The final nail was hammered into the coffin. According to a meticulously prepared and handy-dandy spreadsheet compiled by the dedicated Reddit user Python23, the final tally is now official. The Nintendo Switch, through its potent combination of brand new exclusives, stunning remakes, and its growing online library of classics, can now play 15 distinct mainline Zelda titles. It has officially and decisively surpassed the Wii U's once mighty count of 12. It's a quiet but monumentally significant victory for Nintendo's current champion. If you've been on this incredible journey with Link on either of these consoles, go ahead and hit that like button to show some love for the ever-enduring hero of time. So, what does this all mean in the grand scheme of things? For the Wii U, this is the loss of its final, cherished identity. It can no longer claim to be the definitive Zelda machine. The Nintendo Switch now offers more variety, more groundbreaking modern classics, and infinitely more convenience, all on a revolutionary hybrid platform that you can take with you anywhere. It's a poignant insult added to the deep injury of being one of Nintendo's most significant commercial flops. The long-suffering, misunderstood console has been thoroughly defeated in the one specialized subject it ever truly excelled at. But is it really time to pack up your gamepad and banish your Wii U to the attic for good? Well, not so fast. In a bizarre and deeply frustrating twist of fate, the Wii U still holds two of the most important Zelda games hostage, clutching them like precious jewels in its cold, dead hands. The gorgeous, definitive, high-definition remasters of The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess have, for reasons that continue to baffle and infuriate the global gaming community, never been ported to the Nintendo Switch. This isn't just a minor inconvenience for collectors, it's a gaping, illogical hole in the Switch's library that becomes more glaring with each passing year. The silence from Nintendo on this matter is deafening, giving rise to a cottage industry of fan theories and speculation. Are they being held back as a system-selling launch title for a future, more powerful console? Is there some arcane technical issue preventing a simple port? Or is it simply a case of Nintendo's infamous and often unpredictable corporate scheduling, leaving two of its greatest triumphs in digital limbo? Whatever the reason, the effect is the same. It forces the most dedicated fans to hunt down and maintain a failed console, sometimes paying inflated prices on the secondhand market, just to experience the definitive versions of these two essential chapters in Link's saga. It has created a bizarre situation where to truly have the complete, ultimate Zelda experience, you need both one of the most successful and one of the least successful Nintendo consoles in history sitting side by side on your entertainment center. What do you think about this? Should Nintendo finally free these timeless classics from their Wii U prison and bring them to the Switch? Let us know your passionate thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy untangling these complex webs of gaming history and corporate strategy, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next investigation. So there you have it. The torch has been officially passed. The era of the Wii U as the ultimate Zelda machine is over. Its reign ended by the sheer market dominance, modern power, and expanding library of the Nintendo Switch. The Switch's killer combination of genre-defining modern masterpieces like Tears of the Kingdom, lovingly crafted remakes like Link's Awakening, and a robust and growing collection of classics has cemented it as the new, undisputed one-stop shop for aspiring heroes of Hyrule. The Wii U's last proud claim to fame has been methodically stripped away, solidifying its legacy as a fascinating, deeply flawed, and ultimately failed corporate experiment. And yet, it clings to a strange half-life, a phantom relevance, thanks to two of the greatest adventures in the series' history that Nintendo, for its own inscrutable reasons, refuses to release from its grasp. It remains a strange and compelling relic, a true paradox of commercial failure and niche indispensability.
The battle for Hyrule's history is over, and the Nintendo Switch has won. But the ghost of the Wii U and its exclusive, captive treasures continues to haunt the kingdom, a constant, curious reminder of a strange, transitional, and altogether baffling time in Nintendo's checkered, yet perpetually interesting history.